Hello, my lovelies. It's Janet Perez with the Painted Saguaro Art and Decor, and I am coming to you with Paint Couture paints today to show you how to create a really special look on a buffet or a dresser or any piece really that you might have that you want to just completely change the look of. This piece was solid wood, but it had been really beat up. And so what I started off with was our Sure Prep 2-in-1 primer, and I covered the entire piece in that primer and let it dry really well. And now what I'm doing is I'm giving it a solid coat of our pitch black chalk style paint. And I'm just going to show you this really quickly. I'm not going to show you painting the whole piece because there's no point in me doing that, but I'm giving it full coverage. And you can see, even though I'm going over white with black, this black has amazing coverage. And I only have to give it one coat to give it the full coverage that it needs. So I've let the black dry completely. And now I'm using my special mixture that I love so much and I use on so many pieces. And it is a combination of our Iron Oxide Liquid Pigment, Madagascar Mocha, and Firelight, which is sort of an orange color. And I keep a jar of this handy in my workspace at all time because it's just a great rusty color that I love. And I'm applying it with just a plastic putty knife. And you can see here that I'm just putting it sporadically throughout the piece to kind of give it sort of an aged, worn look on the piece. I wish that I could have allowed the wood to show through on this, but it was so battered and beat up. It had dog chew marks on it and everything else, and that's why I had to cover the wood. I had to Bondo it quite a bit too. And as you can see, I've sanded and taped off the top so I don't get paint on the top. And I will definitely show you how I finish the top off a little bit later. So I'm just, like I said, going over this with that special mixture of paint that I love so much and I've shared with you before, making sure that I kind of give that distressed look over the entire piece. And I know it looks kind of garish at this point, but you'll see in the next step that I soften it up a bit with a wash. So just kind of bear with me. It always gets uglier before it gets prettier. And that plastic putty knife is a great way to do this because you're not going to scrape old paint off. So what I'm doing here is I'm using Abyss and Midnight Blue. And I'm just using a little bit of both, pouring it into one of my handy dandy Fayet containers that I save, mixing it up a little bit, and using my finger, of course. I'm a very hands-on artist. And that's vinegar water. So it's a 50-50 mix of white vinegar and water. And I'm just using that same putty knife just to stir it up a little bit and wiping it off. That's all I'm using that putty knife for there. But I'm using a chip brush and just kind of spreading it on here and then spritzing it off to create sort of a wash over the entire piece. And it looks a lot brighter here than it will once it dries. But I just kind of wanted to soften that rust color and sort of give it more of an aged, subtle look. So this is why I'm going over everything with this softened blue, and just to kind of give it a glowy look. So I go over the entire piece with this mixture of the Midnight Blue and the Abyss Blue wash. And you can see it's just a matter of kind of laying the paint down and then spritzing it with the vinegar water, working it with the brush until it kind of breaks up, and then kind of washing it off, so to speak, until I get the effect that I want. And there's many ways that you can do a paint wash. You know, you can mix the paint and the water together before you apply it. For this technique, this is how I like to do this, because then I can kind of control the heaviness or the lightness of the paint in different areas. So I let that dry completely. And so you can see here, you can barely see that blue. It just kind of gives a hint of the blue. Now this is a IOD, one of their new release transfers, and I'm just showing you this one portion of how to apply this transfer because these panels on these cabinet doors have a lot of high and low points to them. So I kind of wanted to show you guys how I go about applying a transfer into an uneven surface. So I work from one edge and I cut the transfer down so that I'm not trying to do a whole sheet and get into difficult areas all at once. And I work from side to side, and then so you can see I'm working on this one inset panel area here at first and getting it in there. And I'm using my fingernail, I'm using that broken scraper tool, I'm using my hand, and I'm just getting this applied. And you can see as it gets laid down and adhered to the front of the wood, the cabinet door, you can see it releases from that transfer paper, and it you can definitely tell when it's releasing. So I've got it adhered to the inset area, the concave area, and now I'm kind of working on that front raised panel section. And I make sure that I go over it completely before I try to lift it. And you kind of lift and go as you work your way around it. But you don't want to go from one side to the other. You want to go from one side to the middle to the other side so that you're not stretching the design and then getting cracks in your design. This will help you avoid getting cracks in your design. And I realize this is, 4 times the speed. Putting this transfer on literally took me, on the 4 drawer fronts, it literally took me probably 3 hours to do because I did it very meticulously. It's not something that you can just whip out and when you're doing it over a flat surface, yes, you can do it really quickly. When you're doing it over a surface like this where there's lots of raised and lower areas, you really just have to be really careful to make sure that you're getting it adhered down properly and not trying to rush the process. So as you can see, I'm peeling back that transfer paper as I go. And then once you get the edges done, just as in a flat surface area, it goes pretty darn quickly. So here I'm just kind of rushing through the rest of it because I'm at the home stretch, so to speak. But this is such a pretty transfer, isn't it? I love this transfer. It's kind of wild vines going up the piece, and I really dig it. But you also want to make sure that your transfer sheet does not shift, because then you will also get cracks in your image. And, so you either want to tape it down if you don't feel secure in holding it, but I'm always holding it with one hand, as you can see here. And here we go, we're almost done. So you can see I worked from the bottom left corner to the top right corner. And we are done right about now. Well, in a second. It's just about released. I'm teasing y'all. But I love this transfer. It's probably one of my, I say that every time I get a new transfer and lay it down on a piece of furniture, but I really love this transfer. It's beautiful. So this is also one of the new IOD releases, and it's that, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's that really wide floral band. And here I'm using the Capital Crafts 2-part Black Resin by Paint Couture. And you basically just mix equal parts of each of the 2 parts, obviously. So for this wide band, and I needed to make, I believe, 6 of them to do the bottom row, because I'm making this for the bottom of this dresser or buffet or entertainment center, whatever you want to call it. And each pour That's one cool thing about these IOD molds. That tells you exactly how many milliliters of resin you need. So I needed a total of 85 milliliters. So I mixed 90 milliliters. And so I did 42 and a half and 42 and a half. Is that right? No, I did 45 and 45, excuse me. And then I poured the little bit extra from each pour up into that top mold so that eventually I had that almost filled, and then I just poured the rest in there to fill it. This resin sets up in about 10 minutes, and it's pliable when you first pull it out. So I needed to cut it, so I wanted to remove it pretty quickly and get it cut so that it would fit on the drawers. It also sands really nicely, because I left a tiny little bit of overhang on a couple of the drawers that I was able to sand down after I adhered them to the drawers. So I was really happy with that. And this is such a pretty mold, really pretty. So this is the top, and I just did a stain on the top. I did a walnut stain on it. And now what you see, that shininess on there, is our hemp oil. It's the Paint Couture hemp oil. And I've got a coat of it that I let sit for about 20 minutes. And then you just take a clean rag and buff it off. And this is the effect that you get. It's absolutely beautiful, and it creates a rock hard finish. I love it. So it's a really beautiful finish. I used a little gilding wax to highlight the flowers on the molding. There's the top with the cured hemp oil. And there is the top drawers that I did detail to with hardware that I got from Hobby Lobby. And of course, before I added that hardware, I sealed everything with our Extreme Guard flat top coat and made sure that I finished everything, put the hardware on, I replaced the hinges, and I couldn't be more happy with how this piece turned out. It was questionable at moments, but I think it looks really beautiful. So tell me your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. I hope that you enjoyed watching the video, that you learned something. And I sure hope you'll join me again when I bring you another piece that I refinish with Paint Couture paints. And I look forward to seeing you again from my studio at the Painted Saguaro. Thanks again. Catch you next time.